We've got, you got Green Black Oven here in Pioneer. So we played a deck very close to this in Historic yesterday in Arena. It was really sweet. Just so happened that we had someone submit it for Pioneer as well. So changes from the Historic build to this build today. We've got 4 copies of Thoughtseize, just as good, clean interaction here. We got 4 copies of Blooming Marsh to make the mana base a little bit more consistent. And then we've got a card that with Theros is actually going to be coming to Historic. So we've got Gray Merchant up here at the top end, which can be good with Journey to Eternity loops to drain our opponent out in the late game. And like, we're playing Ayara and Cavalier anyways, so like, we get to just happen to have a lot of Black Devotion to make Gray Merchant good. So let's go ahead and dive on into some match with this and see how it goes. For people that are asking about spoilers, once we have a little bit more full of a spoiler, I'll probably write a spoiler preview article for Cool Stuff Inc. I don't write for them weekly anymore, but I have an open invitation to come write for them whenever I have something to say, because they're great. So, they'll probably, once we get a little bit deeper into spoiler season, I'll take some time to write some stuff out. I think I just go ahead and make a food this turn with the goose. And like next turn we'll like play oven plus make another food. You can always find a direct link to the deck list on Stream Decker when I'm smart enough to update it. So now you can find a direct link to the deck list in via the widget. Smells like ramp. This ramp deck's probably going to give us a hard time. We don't necessarily have a particularly fast clock. That's a great draw. What you got? Infinite payoffs. Woodland Bellower. Golly. Alright, so I just have to take Ugin, right? Pretty sure. Based on how many people have said they've reprinted Yawgmoth's Will in my chat, I assume there's a lot of people that don't understand what Yawgmoth's Will does. It's my only conclusion. They drew Flipping Ancient Tomb. Gross. Yeah, the opponent's deck, I'd be very surprised if the opponent's deck is left unbanned come January 6th. It's very, very good. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this and kill their Tireless Tracker, I think. Good chance we're just dead at this point. We don't really have time to yeah, I'm just gonna concede this match actually. I don't think our deck is competitive against what the opponent is doing, and I don't want to sit here and play a match where we don't have a chance. So this is like more hopeless than playing a mid-range deck versus Strawn. So I'm gonna go ahead and pack it in. I don't think there is anything meaningful a mid-range deck like our deck can do to be competitive against the previous opponent's archetype. You think 19 times out of 20 we're going to be just dead. Yeah, I think that's your game, Duress. I think there's a lot of decks people are playing in this format that are just not competitive against the green ramp deck. I think in my opinion, the current iteration of the green ramp deck in Pioneer is more offensive than Tron has ever been in Modern. There are worse tools for fighting green. There are worse tools for fighting that last opponent's deck than there are for fighting Tron in Standard, or in Modern, whatever format that card format thing's legal in. What would I ban from it? I would ban Ulamog, and I would ban a Boreal Grazer at a minimum. Honestly, I would like to see all of the 1-mana green accelerants banned. I think Goose is the only 1-mana green accelerant that's kind of okay because Oko is no longer legal. No, a week from today is the last weekly Pioneer update, J-Man. They explicitly said there would not be an update to Pioneer today. Yeah, definitely, Fox. I'll make a note to do it first thing on a Monday. First thing on a Monday for the Storm run back. Oven? Land? Trail of Crumbs. I think Ugin's a fine card to have in the format still. I think Ulamog's Cash Trigger makes it the far more offensive card. Yay! Feels Magic Man. Need to draw a third land after keeping a 2-lander, draw another 5-drop. Sounds about right. Hey, Aaron, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Sick. In it to win it. We're not just jamming Journey to Eternity, because if they kill my creature in response, I lose my Journey. Whereas, like, if I get this Journey down and get it to flip on a point where they, like, put their defenses down, it'll be very, very good for us. I think saying they're bad design is accurate. I think dorks, for the most part, are bad designs. I think you could even argue dorks are more offensive in non-rotating formats because the depth of offensive 3-mana cards that you have access to is larger. This is a reading Journey to Eternity pause for those not familiar with that pause there. Second Murderous Rider is a good draw, because it means if they have another Kali Toss, we have a follow-up. Is Keese's Ramp? It is not. Keese's Ramp was a cut the line. Would you do a run back of the Vampire Ballista combo deck? Yeah, I think so, Rookie. Maybe, let me asterisk. I want to see how the Abzan build plays. So there's an Abzan Archangel of Thune Ballista combo deck, and if that one feels better, I'd rather work on that. If we miss on a land drop here, we're probably going to sack the food. Nice, Cinnabar. Get out of here. Should have done that on your turn. Get punished. If they're not playing Field of Ruin, I'd be surprised if Grixis can beat Cave. Add these bits to that then. Thanks, Rookie. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful end of the year. Did they just fatal push my Cauldron Familiar while I have a food in play? Thank you. I appreciate you. We got our 4th land the hard way. Sure. Is that a good one to get? I feel like that's a good one to get. What am I exiling here? I think it's Ayara. Nah, Cavaliers. I guess Cavalier's a removal spell in my pocket. Is it Grey Merchant? It might just be Grey Merchant. I'm gonna exile the Ayara. The Grey Merchant, like, lets us drain them out, and Grey Merchant plus Cave is, like, really powerful. So I think I want Grey Merchant. Yeah, I think I'm in for that, right? That's an extra land that lets me start activating the Cave. And also, it's a 6th land, so lets me go Midnight Reaper plus Murderous Rider here. Like, I've got a lot of Devotion stacked up over here still, right? So this Grey Merchant's potentially very good. Well, now we just do this. So they can kill the cat in response here to save their Jace, but I think I'm okay with that. Ooh, that's brutal. They picked Kalitas back up. I don't have that much more removal in my deck here. Kalitas turns off this, it turns off this, it turns off this. Thanks for the 6 months, Gunslinger. I appreciate the half a year. Yeah, I'm only at 1 Murderous Rider left in my deck. I guess another Cavalier could theoretically kill Kalitas, but it's not looking good for our hero. Hey, thanks for the 15 months, Ninja Turtle Jr. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm supposed to just Reaper plus Rider there. We might be able to just aggro them out, yeah. That's a very real possibility. Wait, what? Thank you. Thank you. Well, that potentially solves that problem. Yeah, they gave us a removal spell. It's an interesting decision. All right, and we drew one too. Sweet. Maybe I'm supposed to do those in the opposite order. If they have Kalitas plus a removal spell next turn, we can get into a little bit of trouble. Maybe closing this game out. They discarded Culligan's Command, so their hand is just all gas at the moment. Which I guess makes sense. They missed a land drop last turn. So this thing can flashback spells out of their bin. Do they have an untapped land? If they have untapped land, they can go Kalitas plus the untapped land. What? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Maybe our opponent's new. Good chance our opponent's a newer player. So our cat's gonna get exiled, and they're gonna get a zombie, but I am gonna get to kill this Kalitas. So I think that's a fair trade. Yeah, our opponent's made a couple of plays that make me think they're probably a little bit newer Magic player. Don't have as much experience with, like, how our cards are interacting with things. If they kill this, I get to bring back the Midnight Reaper. Yeah, if they just, like, tap out and don't gain life, I get to go Murderous Rider, Grey Merchant, kill them. Grey Merchant, for those not familiar, this is a card that's going to be standard legal soon. Hits your opponent for 1 damage for every devotion to black you have. So Cavalier and Rider, both very good with this card. Probably will be good with this card in standard too. Yeah, it is worth noting that Jace's flashback is different than actual flashbacks, interacts with Remand differently. There was a fleeting moment where that was a relevant interaction to know in Modern. Very, very fleeting. Alright, yeah, so they're dead, right? Gary is sweet. Murderous Rider is really good with Gary. Play my deal 7 Blackburn spell. Finish at a good clean 20. Alright, so definitely want my Assassin's Trophies here. I think I want these Midnight Reapers too. I think Ayara is actually probably a card I don't want. In order for her to be good, we have to have extra creatures around to sacrifice. I think we're frequently going to have our board pretty clear. I need 2 more cuts. Gilded Goose is probably an okay trim. It's a pretty low average power level card. I might also be right to just trim the Cauldron Familiar, but I guess Familiar with Witch's Oven plus this is a pretty good engine, so I think I'm going to trim the Goose. I don't need acceleration as much in this matchup. Leaving Cat in to pair with Journey is also valuable. Let's give this a go. I think against Grixis, I don't want these Duresses. I would bring in the Duresses against blue-white control because they tend to have more counter spells, but Grixis has more creatures and plays the board more, so I want less discard here, I think. Temples are spoiled. Excellent. That was expected, but good to know. Good to have them confirm that they are coming back. With Gary coming back, can we drop red from the Oven Center deck? Maybe, Beansy. Mayhem Devil is still really good at controlling the board. It's definitely going to be worth exploring Ayara Oven in Standard with Gary, but I'd kind of be surprised if the answer is just Gary instead of Mayhem Devil and not just play both. Play both is probably the answer. And sweet. Need some lands. We got a Scryland to help us get there. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite Duress art, not close. Land's exactly what we want to see to get started here. Gary's devoted to the crazy cat lady. He really is. All right, who's ready to start cooking cats on a commercial scale, chat? Yeah, I definitely think that could be the case, Fox. Like, you literally play Mayhem Devil as your only red card. Yeah, I like the KTK Duress better than that one. Reprint to Balt. I'm telling you, you need to change your Twitch name. It's just they did what you asked. Thanks for the 29 months. D Mills, I appreciate the 9 months. Welcome back. So I am not going to bring my cat back to play here, even though it could attack, because I don't want them to be able to kill the cat at end step and then have me be out of food to bring it back. So waiting to do that is the conservative play. Huh? Do I just keep this? There's a lot of land. I'm gonna bottom that. I know I have this Cavalier, so maybe that comes back to bite me, but like, feel like I can do better. Maybe I think we can do better than Forest. I agree. Hey, thanks for the quarter of a year, Vorpal. I appreciate you keeping me around. I mean, I don't have that many 5s in my deck, though, right? Like, there's only 4 more 5-drops in my deck. Hey, Bartman. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having an excellent, excellent Monday wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for the support. All right, I would like to drain you for 3. Don't mind me, just cooking the cat. And again, gonna end by not bringing the cat back into play because I don't want them to be able to... I don't want them to be able to kill it and then not have food around. We've assembled Exodia, yeah, something like that. Long-time YouTube watcher. Hey, I hope you're enjoying your vacation. I appreciate the support. Thanks for keeping me around making sweet stuff. Oh, Taco! Thank you for the 5 months. Welcome back. This helix seems very familiar, but Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. This deck is catastrophic. Thanks for the 12 months, Aaron. Welcome back. Thanks for the 25 months, Demir. The cat lady, I approve of this deck. Something. Man, who's glad that we bottomed, who's glad that we bottomed that land, huh? Worked out. Like, really, really glad we bottomed Forest. So we'll bring the cat back. We'll bake it in this oven here. We'll discard the swamp. As you will. I see your Grixis deck and raise you my high school culinary class at a stray cat. Culligan's had enough of getting baked, okay? He's just not into it. In Amonkhet, they reprinted a number of cards that weren't in Amonkhet as these masterpiece borders that were just ugly as sin. I'm just like getting bored and hoping I make a mistake here. Really showing the payoff of me not bringing the cat back at end of turn and just draining them out. Oh, when we bake Gray Merchant, it's 4 toughness too, so it gives us extra food from the oven. That's great. It's really good. Trigger. Do. Beep, 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 beep. Bounce. Bounce your great deal. I'm gonna do it again next turn. Thanks for the free point. Nice Grixis deck. Oh, man. Oh, Grixis. Poor Grixis. All right, they're digging through time here. Grixis and losing name a more iconic duo. Listen, Grixis was playable when it had access to Birds of Paradise. Grixis was really good in Legacy when Birds of Paradise was legal. There isn't anything wrong with Grixis as a control problem. I mean, that's not strictly true. Like, having access to cards like Detention Sphere and Teferi to have more flexible things. The Grixis deck you played, though, was a proactive deck, though, right? Extras? So, like, Grixis isn't a good control deck, I think is a more good thing to say. And a lot of people try to play Grixis as a control deck. I think more proactive Grixis is often fine. What are your thoughts on the Dredgeless Dredge deck? I think it's sweet. Yeah, I think that deck's probably, safe from bans is probably accurate. I think while the deck's reasonable, I don't think anything that it's doing is too pushed over the top. Driven to Despair is real good. Card's super powerful and a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna die to main deck Graveyard Hate. Our first deck today was Grixis. To be fair, that deck's only good because it plays a green card now, right? So the thing that put that Grixis deck over the top was a green card. Is that the best draw in my deck? I think that was probably the best draw in my deck. It's definitely up there. What was the first deck today? We played Tess in Legacy as the first deck today. It was great. Grixis is how you know Magic isn't pay to win. Ain't that the God's honest truth? If Magic was pay to win, Grixis would have a way higher win rate. Am I preferring Legacy to Modern these days? To set a bar that's so incredibly low I can't even state in words how low it is. Legacy, current Legacy, I think is better than current Modern, yes. Look at the build that we played in Historic yesterday, Combat Muffin, which actually went up on my website. So if you click the Historic decks page, it's up on my website. If you don't have Thoughtseize in the main deck, I would not play Duress main, but I would play more Duresses in the sideboard. Yeah, but if you play the Storm deck, you just get to kill people playing Astrolab. It's great. Used to be like, LOL Astrolab, kill you. Playing Unmoored Ego to take hate cards is generally not a good use of your time. I think just playing a bunch of, copies of Assassin's Trophy is probably better. We did not. We lost to a Chalice of the Void deck in the last match. We beat 4 Force of Will decks, died to Chalice of the Void. Wonder if they're playing Delirium, if they're playing Soul Flare. Well, they've got huge tracts of land, chat. Huge. We did turn 1 the Chalice deck game 2, which was it was the most satisfying turn 1 I've had in a long time. It was real good. Now we're only like 2 matches in. Go Switch. I'll give my wrap up at the end as always. So like they generated some value there, but like they're also going to 9 on this attack, so like that seems pretty fine for us. If we like find a Gray Merchant, or I don't know, spells would probably be pretty good. If we brick on another spell next turn, we'll probably pay life with Castle to draw a card. Crabat's Raven. A lot of 12-month subs this month. Let's get you a sword for while you're here. Thanks for keeping me around. You're having a good one wherever you are. Yeah, that's fair. Should technically wait till the end step she. You're right. I give them the opportunity to play a 1-drop. Shillionaire is for nerds anyways. Put this in for the blue-white hero deck and Pioneer. Will do, Wiku. So keeping me around. Oh yeah, shake my world, mama. Shake my world. It's actually pretty scary. It kills us relatively quickly. And it stops all of our aggression. Looking for like a Gray Merchant here. Or spells, you know, would settle for spells. Hey, Ayara's not terrible. 12-month subs, because a year ago was pink hair. That's not quite accurate. I mean, it's actually interesting to see when that happens, if we have a bunch then, how many stuck on. The pink hair was February, March, if I recall correctly. They forgot to crack their clue and draw a card with this forest that makes 2 mana. That's good for us. So Gray Merchant's lethal at this point, which is sweet. It does 9 damage because Ayara triggers as well. That being said, if they attack with 3/3s, maybe I'm supposed to double block. I don't know. I guess if I don't double block and like eat the cat with the Ayara to get an extra draw in next turn, which is nice. We'll see if they have a removal spell this turn. Well, screw me. Wait, what? Deal. The legacy deck this morning, for the person that just asked, is going to be one of the decks of the day. It was really, really good. Gary is still lethal here. Gary is no longer lethal. Yikes. Wow, actually super punished here. So I should have been thinking about Assassin's Trophy. If I would have been thinking about Trophy, I could have left a castle up here and I would have been able to draw a card at the end of turn. So I'm down a card here because of my mistake. How about another land? How does another land sound? I think we're dead at this point. It's a little too flooded. Yeah, we're just dead. Grasp sounds good here. Midnight Reaper sounds good here. I think Ayara's a trim in this style of matchup. I think Thoughtseize is a trim in this style of matchup. Do I want Trophy rather than Ayara? I want to keep Ayara. I can trim the geese. Just again, increase my average card quality a little bit. Let's try this. Ayara demands an answer usually. Odds of Thoughtseize getting a reprint, hopefully low. Card's super offensive. I wonder if this is supposed to be a Massacre Girl matchup. Massacre Girl's pretty okay against Nissa lands. That's quite possible. It's supposed to be a Massacre Girl matchup. Do I get to do a reveal? my preview card from Watsy got lost in the mail, I think. For the last 5 years or so. The Cole was a joke about the holiday promo that they send out. Correct. I also will not have early access to the set on Arena. So on the early access stream days, I'll probably just do a bunch of Pioneer. Usually that's what I do. Nah, if we're being honest, Mask, I think it's pretty unlikely for me to even be able to brown nose my way into anything at this point. It's fine. We're okay. Give the preview cards to smaller creators, maybe drive them some traffic. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the Reaper in case because they're a Thoughtseize deck. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be like TCC big to like be on WotC's naughty list and still have them work with you. And I am nowhere near as large as Tolarian. He's the largest Magic content creator, not close. I think he just hit his YouTube video was celebrating like 500,000 YouTube subs. Super impressive. Hey, CO Twitch, thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, his YouTube channel is bigger than the official Magic YouTube channel. Just kind of absurd when you think about it. There's an official Magic YouTube channel? Yeah, I mean, all brands have official channels, right? They took a Rec Sage off that vessel. They have 4 card types in their bins. This can go grab whatever they want. Borderless temples. That's phenomenal. I'm really glad WotC stepped up to leverage the, like, altar art area some more than they have in the past. I think that's a big thing they finally figured out. Like, instead of doing things like these hideous Amonkhet borders, they're just like making borderless cards. Someone at Wizards was finally like, you know what we should do? We should do the thing that people pay artists to do and just like print borderless cards to begin with. Had Delirium, got a Forest, sure. They must have a 5-drop for next turn, huh? Do I just sack this Murderous Rider and kill this Ballista? I think so. I think I want to just use my mana this turn. This sounds appealing. And like, if they kill my Cavalier, I get my Midnight Reaper back, which is nice. So we take 1 here, but their Ballista's gone, which is nice. I have a 4 or 5 lifelinker. The fact that they got a Forest last turn with the Traverse implies to me that they're setting up for a 5-drop this turn. Hopefully whatever it is just dies to Downfall. Yeah, it's not too big of a deal. Just kill this and attack for 4, and then cast this Murderous Rider since we drew a 6th land, huh? Just gain a bunch of life back. So they knew about these first 2 Murderous Riders. They don't know about this 3rd one. They have Rec Sage. So Rec Sage is their last card in hand right now. So I'll get to kill this and attack for 6. Get to pressure them down. The land here is not even a terrible draw, because it means I can play this Murderous Rider plus play this Familiar out this turn. Just put a lot of pressure into play. Just want to try and end this game ASAP. We have a ton of Devotion here, so Grey Merchant off the top at any point. Just going to be super duper lethal. They could have, like, a Languish or a Ritual, but whatever sweeper they could possibly be playing likely won't kill Cavalier of Night, so that's nice for us. Pretty convenient on our side of the board that, like, opponent found Reclamation Sage, and we just, like, never drew an artifact or enchantment. Scarab God, sure. That's pretty scary. I think I'm just going to get as aggressive as possible here. They want to eat my Cavalier, I bring back Midnight Reaper. And if they don't eat my Cavalier, they take 7. They're going to get to reanimate Ishkana next turn, right? So I'm basically on, like, Grey Merchant or bust at this point. Needed a draw removal spell for the S-God to win this game without Grey Merchant, so... And then they think about whether or not they want to take more damage. Yeah, we played the Feather deck in the league before this one, Bartman. Putting the Cavalier into the bin does let them get Cavalier back themselves, which is potentially good for them. So it will be a 4/4 lifelinker on their side of the board. So we'll see what... I assume we'll see a Scarab God activation during their upkeep here. That was great. Deck felt really powerful and consistent. Any plans to try the Oven deck with Red Doom? Well, I mean, the stream title today has Mardoom Oven and Jund Oven in it. As always, if you're curious on what decks can be played coming up on stream, you can check out the deck queue on my website. Always try to keep that as up to date as possible. Only things that won't be in it are things that are added midstream. Alright, so what am I doing here? I think I'm just attacking with all of these. Just hoping to draw some cards. We're at 35 life, that means we're winning. Yeah, something like that. They're gonna kill Midnight Reaper in response. So close and yet so far away. If I attack with just Midnight Reaper, we kill them there. If they have nothing, so, like, their last card is Reclamation Sage right now. So, like, if they don't have anything else that's useful here, Grey Merchant is still lethal next turn. It does a total of 6 when it comes into play with Ayara out. Oh, yeah, they just get through this. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. Yeah. I guess I should... Okay, yeah, so I punted. So because this is in the graveyard, I should have... Yeah, I should have waited on a land. So I could have... If I would have waited, we would have killed them, most likely. Like, Sans a Thoughtseize, they would have died. I would have hit my 8th land, and then gone Ayara into Grey Merchant, and then they wouldn't need a Thoughtseize or removal spell. Oh, they could just hold up an activation too? Yeah, that's true. They could have just held up the activation to beat us. So yeah, I guess if they play well there, we don't have outs. It's a good consideration. Yeah, there's a chance that this archetype's just not competitive in Pioneer. Just because, like, the type of grindy thing that it's doing, this format definitely feels a little bit more brutal than Historic does. And like, as that last opponent showed, like the other people who are grinding in this format have better tools to grind than people have in Historic. Want to play GP at the end of January. Any recommendation on aggressively slanted decks that has legs to grind on? Not really. I guess the Feather deck we just played is a pretty good choice, assuming you're talking about Pioneer. I'd also would shy away from encouraging you to make any type of deck decisions before what's it called? Before January 6th. And January 6th is going to be the last rapid fire ban list update for this format, so a lot could change then. Thanks for the 35 months, Mr. Silicon. Thanks for the bits, Raven. This is a matchup that's, the way our hand is drawn up this game is definitely going to be bad. The opponent's playing a linear combo deck that doesn't have any interaction in it, so we basically just have to race them. And we don't currently have any cards that really allow us to race here. We drawn a bunch of our grindy elements, which are not going to be great. Just like playing a 3-mana 2/3. There's a reason why there's no Grim Haruspex in lists today. Instead of me telling you why you're wrong, can you tell me why you're right? Can you tell me why I should play Grim Haruspex and what cards you would cut for it and why? Yeah, we played this deck in Historic yesterday, and it was one of the best sets of Magic I played in a very long time. It was super sweet. So we're just like, don't really have much interaction here, just kind of like crossing our fingers, hoping to attack them a couple of times. I think they'll ban several cards on the 6th. Yeah, I'd assume, yeah, I agree. I expect some number of things to be banned on the 6th. It's their last out-of-cycle update. Grim Haruspex is a strict upgrade to Midnight Reaper. It's not. In fact, just like, here's my advice to Magic players. Take the words strict upgrade and strictly better and find a flipping garbage can and throw those phrases into that garbage can out of your vocabulary. Because the D&D junkie there even acknowledged why the card they suggested was not strictly better. Like, they said it's strictly better, and then they listed a reason why it wasn't actually strictly better. Nice, Justin. The reason why I'm not playing Grim Haruspex is because in the matchups where you want to grind, Midnight Reaper replacing itself with a card is very important. Grim Haruspex is a card in the control matchups that's frequently going to just eat a removal spell and die and not do anything for you. Whereas Midnight Reaper, when it eats a removal spell and dies, it draws you a card. It replaces itself. It 2-for-1s your opponent. All right, I'm going to auto pass here and go to the bathroom. Enjoy my opponent stroking off for you on screen. Be right back. Oh, that's weird. It's still not my turn. Yeah, I was thinking I was getting kind of hungry. It's 12:30. I'm gonna make some lunch too. Enjoy my opponent's deck. Normally I mute my microphone while I'm preparing things, but I really feel like hearing the sounds of me doing other things in the background, like, adds to the ambiance of what's currently going on our screen. So it looks like double cast plus expansion explosion was their way to actually kill us. And they let us draw cards. That's so nice. That's so nice. So my opponent's deck is a land-based combo deck. So naturally that means I should bring in my Assassin's trophies to interact with their lands, right? Because Magic's very interactive. So this card should let me interact with their lands, I would assume, right? We're going to bring in a couple of Duresses. We're going to bring in Shifting Ceratops because it attacks. We're going to bring in Midnight Reaper because it's a 3/2 for 2. It honestly might be right to bring in Trophy because it kills Thespian Stage. I think that's actually the case. Trail of Crumbs is pretty whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna cut 2 for 2 trophies so we can kill that card at least. Yeah, maybe we should have Damping Sphere in my sideboard. That's definitely a card that's relevant here. Feather was excellent, was very good. And like decks like this one that we're playing against, decks like the first green ramp deck that we played against this league where I just conceded and didn't even bother. I think as long as decks like those are kind of present in Pioneer, these kind of mopey mid-range value decks just probably aren't playable in this format. As sad as it makes me as someone who's like is giddy to play decks like this very frequently, these decks just aren't competitive in formats like this. This format is a little bit slower and more forgiving than a format like Modern, but it has a lot of overlap with the types of things like that are the types of things that are or aren't playable. My shot at being somewhat aggressive is probably gone now because they have an 0-3. They're pretty unlikely to kill us next turn, so I'm going to spend this turn swift ending this, and then next turn we'll Thoughtseize plus play a Murderous Rider. And you don't need to root very hard for the opponent. This matchup should be pretty close to unlosable for them. I mean, their hand doesn't have a lot in it, so I think saying it's just over is a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but yeah, they're pretty close to being good to go here. Yeah, Green-Black Delirium has been one of the decks that's been putting up results in the various preliminary type things. Those decks tend to be a little bit more aggressive than what we're playing. It's also possible that, like, my sideboard's just misbuilt. I definitely wasn't thinking about the opponent's archetype while I was building the sideboard, and the lack of Damping Spheres is definitely a mistake. That being said, even if we have Damping Sphere, it basically just turns into a game of Modern at that point, though, where it's just like, our only relevant card is Damping Sphere, we just like have to mulligan for it and hope it's good enough. Thanks for the 24 months, Furious Squirrel. I appreciate the 2 entire years of support. Thanks for keeping me around. Perfect. I'm going to auto pass and get my food out of the microwave here in a second. All right, that'll do, pig. That'll do. All right, so we're 1-3. Let's see if we can scrape out the last one. Get 5 of our $10 back. They can't all be winners, right? We had 2 really good decks to start today. So, the third one's a little bit stinky, that's okay. Our lunch making screen, right? Deck's bad, should have played blue-white control. I mean, blue-white control is probably pretty good against the Lotus Field deck. Blue-white has a bad Twiddle matchup, really? Just because it doesn't have a win condition? That surprises me. Hey, you're playing against Holy Diver? They often stream. Are they currently streaming? Doesn't look like it. I think I have them followed. Yeah, it says they're offline. Well, let's take a peekaboo, see what they have going on. Goblin, Electromancer, and Curious Homunculus. What's this card do? It's a Goblin Electromancer that takes some work. So we'll take the actual Electromancer away. Our Cat Bat Pix is good in Historic. We've got that going for us. Is their deck a fair deck? Like, they've got Wandering Fumarole and Supreme Will? I wonder if they're doing something more on the fair side of the spectrum. Is the bot dead? Is it just being slow again? It's being super slow. I don't know what card you're referring to, Justin. I'm excited to quit Magic forever when they reprint Nykthos and Thoughtseize of the new set. To be fair, that wouldn't be an unreasonable conclusion. And again, one thing I want to make really clear, Junkie, is I want you to be critical of my card choices. Like, I just want you to be critical of my card choices in an intelligent and constructive manner. I want you to think about what you're saying and before you actually type it out, right? Like your example was a good one of something people frequently do where, like, you said something was strictly better and then you contradicted yourself in your same statement and, like, talked about why it actually wasn't strictly better. All right, so I think with that, I'm just going to play a tapped land. This is probably pretty hard to get going here. I'm going to bottom that. And we'll play Rider, and then we'll probably just, like, play Running Grey Merchants the next 2 turns, And, had to hide my picture while I was pulling my teeth out. And it's been a while since I've eaten on stream, and with doing these long days, I need to eat in the middle. I can't just skip eating. Someone in my YouTube comment yesterday was very upset at the idea that I would eat on stream. People are wild, yo. So if me eating on stream and muting myself while I do it, so you don't even have to hear me do it, is gonna upset you, I'd recommend changing the channel now. Yeah, weird. I just have infinite Electromancers, huh? Yep. And that's fine. I think even getting that countered, even though we can play around it one turn, is fine. Because they just get to cycle this, even if we don't play into it as a counter spell. So getting my hand empty is ideal here, so that way we can start activating Castle. Man, Grant is really good as a 2-drop. So this thing's gonna flip into a 3/4 here in a second. It has prowess too. This card's kind of sweet. Draw with Castle. Yay, we've got huge tracts of land. All right. I think I'm gonna draw first here. I lose 1 extra life, but if I drew something better than Desecrated Tomb to play out, that would be ideal. All right, I'm gonna start attacking with this because I have food and I have Desecrated Tomb, so they're either taking 1 or I'm gonna get to make a bet. Yeah, I wonder what their finisher is. So far, these just keep getting card advantage spells. Hey, thanks, Pizza. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the support over the year. Last little bit especially. Noted. Gosh, where's an oven when you need one, huh? Ew, I say ayo. Oven come and we want to go home. We make bats, we make bats, we make bats. Making bats do 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 do. Does that song get me to 200, Marty? I feel like I haven't sung that on stream before. Did that one get me to 200? I feel like my high school improv teacher would be proud of me. Repeated reverberation. All right, I assume we're dying this turn. I assume that whatever comes next ends in death. Finish him. Oh. Is insult to injury just the kill? How much damage is this? They repeated reverberation the insult, so they've doubled 3 times. And then the backside does 2 damage, right? So 2 times 4. Oh, lightning strike. Sure, yeah. Yeah. Strike me down. Strike me down from 11 to negative 13. All right. The swings, chat, the swings. Casual 20 for you. Not bad. Not bad. All right, I think this plan's just too slow here. Just bring in some removal spells. I don't think I want Duress. They have a lot of creatures we care about. Let's bring in Ceratops to run them down. Let's give this a go. Your sentence more ignored on microwave food than let stand for a few minutes. Listen, in my older age, as I've matured, there's 2 things that differ between young Jeff and old Jeff by and large. Older, wiser Jeff now lets his food sit for the recommended minutes, and he often stirs it in the middle. Jeff 5 years ago read cook for 3 minutes, stir, cook for 3 more minutes. Old Jeff just put that food in the microwave for 6.5 minutes and called it a day. Present Jeff. Present Jeff has a little bit more respect for himself. Yes, I do even look at the recommended power levels. Confirm what they're supposed to be doing. what they're supposed to be at. There is value in the extra effort. All right, so do I play the other oven or do I just kill this homunculus? I'm probably supposed to just kill the homunculus, huh? So like get this right on out of there. Yeah, Christy really likes to cook her food in the actual oven. I'm not about that life. That's way too much work. All right, hoping to draw a land here so we can play this oven out. Perfect. So I'll wait to my turn to bring the cap back, because we can bring it back and draw a card. Let's get our auto yields on here. I just like jam shifting Ceratops down their throat. I think the play is just jam shifting Ceratops down their throat. Just trying to end the game. Just beep beep. A stupid dino should have never been printed, found the control player. I think low probability that we die next turn. Well, this does get to flip over, right? It's been pretty lackluster, Punchworthy. Gosh, are we dead from here? Yeah, we're dead to insult lightning strike, right? I guess I should have killed this, huh? If I trophy this instead of playing the dino? Yeah. Right? If I trophy their thing, I guess it's ramping them. We probably still end up losing, so I don't have a particularly fast clock. Yeah, playing this deck through this league was a good example of how, while this format is a little bit slower and less brutal than Modern, it's still not a format where you can mope around and do nothing. This deck's game plan of like generating value and grinding long with these cards, it's just not good enough here. There's too many decks like Green Ramp. There's too many decks like the Lotus Field deck that are pretty fast and brutal and just don't give a deck like this time to really generate value with Trail of Crumbs and generate value with Journey to Eternity. Our only win in that league was a Grixis control deck that's probably just as unplayable as our deck, honestly, for the same reasons I just listed. Just like, can't disrupt efficiently, can't put on a quick clock, just like doing slow mopey things, just like aren't really competitive in the format. All right, what are we doing? We're gonna roll on into some standard next. I had to cut the line for a Kisis ramp deck that we're gonna start things off with today. Before we do that, I need to run to the restroom and brush my teeth, though, so we're gonna take a short break while I get the Kisis deck imported and get my teeth brushed. So back in a few. Thanks for hanging out today, folks.